Hello, it's a lovely good evening from here in Delhi, and hope that each one of you, as always, are absolutely fine and in good health and in good spirits. We pray to the God to keep you absolutely sound, safe, and of course in very good health. These are corona times, so you have to take care by yourself also, and on our side, we can only simply pray to the Almighty. So on such note, actually, I start today's this particular session, but obviously this particular session is a special one where I just want to actually interact with you with 2 3 minutes. And why I'm going to interact with you, that definitely I'm going to let you know in a short while. That means I'm going to actually share a very significant information with you. And by now you might be actually quite well aware of that because it is flashing on your screens, and you must have seen by now and realized that Sanjay Welkins, or should I say the organization Sanjay Welkins now has associated with Rago Academy. As far as Rago Academy is concerned, I need not require to actually tell you what sort of person Mr. Rago is. I tend to actually met him 4 5 years back somewhere, and I simply saw him taking the class. And to be very honest with you, and if you can believe me, I found that person with immense dedication, immense zeal and enthusiasm. And these are the qualities, actually, as this phrase goes in English, which separates the men from the boys. Such type of zeal and intense and invigorative quality, when you have, this I can tell you, then no one can stop you from reaching the hallowed precinct of success. I saw in him the spark, something to create what we call unique. And these are the things which I always appreciate a lot. During my this long arduous journey in this particular trade, that is almost what we call 25 years, 20 to 25 years, I have seen the what we call changing contours of the trade, right from blackboard to whiteboard teaching to the technological aspects as we are confronting nowadays. I have been a part and parcel of this particular long journey. And during this long journey, I have worked and I got the opportunity and the privilege to work with the every type of organization, very reputed one, mediocre ones, and even the smaller ones. All in all, I just want to say is that actually I have experienced enough to now judge actually which are the institute which stand a very good chance to carve out a niche for themselves in this otherwise very competitive field. I always felt, and this is my honest feeling, that there was a very wide gap as far as what we call online coaching is concerned with respect to the CMA and the other courses. Obviously, no one has realized that there is a supreme market available for CMA courses, but at the same time, there is hardly any institute which is purely dedicated with great zeal and enthusiasm towards this particular what we call field. And I am very happy, and I have got tremendous amount of pleasure to see to it that Mr. Raghu Goel, your favorite faculty, very esteemed faculty, as I've already told you, a very eminent person, very eminent name, now has decided to take a venture. And I'm very sure that he will fill the gap which the CMA students always feel, in fact, felt that neglected by the other faculties. I sincerely and with greatest of what we call prayers feel that Rago Academy has taken a step which will be a catalyst and which will become unique sort of model. I have no doubt about that this academy is going to do full justice to the area which so far has or have remained what we call unaddressed. As I told you, Mr. Rago is almost half the age of mine. To be very honest with you, I'm 54, so I don't think it's more than 27, 28. Has got tremendous qualities. And these are the qualities, as I told you in the beginning, separates the what we call extraordinary guys from the other ones. And he has taken the pattern actually. Now he has taken it as a challenge. They see the things as a challenge. Unless and until you are not going to accept the fact that everything is a challenge, there is hardly what we call uh, there is hardly any chance that otherwise he would succeed. This is where I feel that Mr. Raghav and his academy is entirely different, and that propelled me to associate with him. In fact, I received a call from Mr. Rago. I didn't for a second showed any sort of hitch or hish in telling that, well, I'm with you. And it's an immense pleasure for me. To be very honest with you, it is nothing like that. So now all I can say is that all my courses, both in English and in Hindi medium, separate mediums, I have courses for. With respect to, of course, as you know, accounts, these are my area, financial reporting and corporate financial reporting, in fact. And then Group 1 and Group 2 courses now henceforth will be available. And the exclusive course of CMA English will be available with Raghu Academy only. So, in case if any one of you are interested in buying my courses, I would definitely suggest that without any hitch and without any sort of hunch, you can go for this particular wonderful, wonderful academy because I'm very sure that Mr. Rago is going to do the full justice. As I told you earlier, also, because I have been a part and parcel of a very long and arduous journey of this particular trade, and have seen the ups and downs and the various other colors and the contents of this particular trade. I don't even for a second have any doubt that Raghu Academy ultimately is going to carve out a niche for himself. It is not a flattery. It is no flattery, and my intention is not so always. I sincerely believe that whatever is there in my heart, I always let it known to others. I have always felt that people who have zeal, who have enthusiasm, who have got resolute, what we call dedication towards any particular thing, more often than not, they will always succeed without an iota of doubt. Now, regarding online coaching, I need not require to actually guide you. You all are what we call matured enough to understand the pros and cons. But still, what we call I would love you to, when you go for what we call CMA coachings, especially you need to take that into account whether the institute are offering you very specialized coaching or not. Because I have seen actually that most of the courses available in the market uh, are not purely dedicated to CMA, to be very honest with you. So Mr. Rago has stressed upon this particular fact that these courses must be purely and purely meant for what we call CMA courses on the parameters of the syllabus of the CMA. And that is where I feel that as far as CMA education is concerned, it is definitely, Rago definitely is going to give it a new dimension. So this is the news I just wanted to share with you. And at the same time, two, three what we call inputs I would love to share with you in case if you want to actually, especially for online coaching, if you have any hunch, then let me tell you through my experience. Now I have got nearly, I think I have got one of the biggest what we call experience as far as online trade is concerned. Out of my total experience of 24, 25 years, since last 7, 8 years, I have been purely associated with online coaching, as each one of you are well aware of. I have also seen that a student nurse actually many hunches with respect to online coaching. Now, here I just would like to elaborate one thing. If you will see the success rates in comparison to the face to face students, I felt and I have proof enough to substantiate it that those students who opted for what we call online coaching, they came out with bigger and flying colors in comparison to face students. Besides, there are many other advantages which I need not require to elaborate, and each one of you understand that there is feasibility of time, there is complete what we call comprehensive availability of review, and as per your own feasibility, you can actually simply put on the lecture. Similarly, there are no restrictions with respect to what we call views, although sometimes restrictions are imposed 2, 3 views, but we will see to it that no such restrictions are actually put up over there. I cannot what we call claim in this regard from the perspective of the other faculties, but we on our side actually try to give you as much as views as you would like to have. At the same time, you always have the backup facility, so one need not require to nurse that in case if he won't be able to attend the class, he will skip the what we call contents. So here on online coaching, you can have what we call such sort of advantages, which we hardly see on the face-to-face. Now, because of this corona times, correct, as each one of us are logged in. And today, in fact, this particular session also, as you can see, actually, I'm taking this particular session from the comfort of my home. That when I'm not sitting in my professional studio, so there could be some deficiencies. For that, I apologize, no doubt about that. But at the same time, things must go on and life must go on. Due to this coronavirus, earlier I was just looking over in stats where I found actually prior to corona, 12% market was shared by the online education. But now, after the advent of the corona, now suddenly this percentage has moved up to 56%. 56%. And I have another hunch, or you can say another what we call predictions inside of my mind, that sooner or later, not only what we call this parallel education trait, but even the official educational trait, that is university education, college education too, will have to go towards what we call this electronic medium. So on that count, one can say that online education is here to stay, not only because of what we call any compulsory factor. I find actually that it has got several other advantages. Besides, it is quite reasonable in comparison to the costly coaching. And students, more often than not, sometime I have come across, have this particular what we call hunch that what about their doubts. Nowadays, so many facilities are there, so many electronic what we call mediums are available, where doubts can be instantly cleared. And generally, I've seen a very good faculty whenever it creates an online coaching course. It will always see to it that there is hardly any what we call room for the doubts. So, if just a few words to the teachers, especially the younger generation teachers who are in the online trade, my only what we call concern is that I have seen that sometimes we tend to do what we call harakiri. Harakiri means actually a little bit of what we call aberrations with respect to creation of the course. That means we should not prepare the course unless and until we feel that we have got complete, comprehensive knowledge regarding that particular what we call subject line. It is very important that whenever you create an online course, you have to see to it that each and every aspect of the syllabus is well and duly covered to the maximum extent, as that saying goes in English, to the hilt. आखिरी सीमा तक जिसे आप बोलते हैं, correct? Even though I am speaking English, but I have got separate Hindi medium courses and English medium courses, so you should not feel that my courses are available only in English medium. That is not the case, but just for the sake of interaction, actually, I feel a little bit comfortable with this language, so that's the reason I am actually interacting with you in English, nothing else otherwise. So, I was just talking about this particular fact that wherever a faculty should create a course, it should see to it that course is comprehensively covered. It must visualize while taking or recording the lecture. It must visualize that which are the areas where the student will have a concern or could have a doubt. So by visualizing such patterns, they can create their course and mold their course in such a manner that they will receive lesser queries. I'm very happy to know that nearly what we call I'm having at this particular moment 3 to 4,000 online students, and very happy to note again that I hardly receive any queries. So that's the point here is that besides, second important aspect is that when besides the course content, it is very important that when you create the course, by whatever way actually you want to actually flesh out your study materials, that should be absolutely neat, clean, tidy, and of course, besides that, it must conform to all the parameters of the syllabus. That is very important. If suppose you are dealing up with a practical, what we call sort of subject like accounts or costing or for that instance, financial management, please see to it that your material contains complete comprehensive solutions. Otherwise, you are going to have a barrage of queries. So if you want to escape of all such things and you are going to take such things into account, you definitely will come out with a course which will definitely not only will be appreciated, but shall also give you what we call enough comfort. Second important point is that one should be very, very honest. When you create the course, you need to realize that you are charging from the student. Inside of your heart, there must be a feeling that if you are charging 10,000, 5,000, 9,000, then a student must get the worth, which is much higher in proportion to the charges made by you. If on such basis you create the course, I'm very, very sure that in very in a very short span of time, no one can stop you from what we call becoming a very good faculty. There are very few faculties in the market, to be very, very honest with you, who take care of such visualizations, such feelings. It is very important that we need to create the course with an honest feeling, with great zeal, as I keep on saying. At the same time, sometimes what happens, your course actually gets a very good market and we tend to become relaxed, complacent, as we call it. That should not be the idea. Online coaching actually demands tremendous amounts of efforts, perhaps much more than the what we call your real-time classes. Here you have to be absolutely quite well abreast of all the latest happenings. You should make an effort to, or what we call, visit some official sites like Ministry of Government Affairs, Corporate Affairs. Then there are some good business sites like Bloomberg, etc., which will fetch you tremendous amount of returns of the changes which is taking place in the corporate and the commerce field, and especially in the educational field. So these are the things which one should take care of while preparing the course. This is my only piece of advice to the younger generation teachers. At the same time, it is very important also, as I keep on saying, one should at no point of time should feel that he has become absolutely expert in the trade. Here, in spite of what we call having, and I think I have a little bit of privilege here to say that I have got the largest market at this particular moment for online coaching. I don't have any doubt in it. It is not an arrogant remark, and at least I'm not one of those who just want to exaggerate the things. But if I happen to have the largest market, I have worked for it. I have worked for it, I have labored for it, and I have really burned the midnight oils, to be very honest with you. When I entered into the online coaching, and I think I was uh, almost the first person to venture into the online coaching, I should say that way around, because 8, 9 years back, there were very, very few teachers, you can say that way. So in the first 6 months, we hardly had what we call 3 students. So point here is that one should not lose any patience. So when you had 3 students in the initial stages, and right now you are having more than 3,000, 4,000 online students, so that means you need to actually just keep on working with zeal and with tremendous efforts. You have to keep on, and at the same time, at no point of time, you need to be complacent, because complacency here, especially in the online trade, could be devastating, to be very honest with you. So remember one thing, that you have to make a habit of making your course absolutely to the latest patterns of the examination. You keep on what we call um, yourself every stop with the latest happening in the corporate and commerce field. Whenever you teach online, it must get reflected to the student. The teacher is not only what we call teaching the contents, they are orienting you with the what we call future, what we call patterns, when the student would enter into the practical arena. So these are a few points which I just wanted to share with each one of you. And now from the perspective of the student, if a student want to actually select a faculty, they have to take into account 2, 3 things. First, just see to it that whether the course which is given to you is absolutely latest or not. Second point is whether it is purely meant for that particular stream which you are really opting for. And third important point, how about the presentation of the teacher? That is very important. I have seen that some teachers, they teach very well, but at the same time the presentational area is so weak that whatever good they offered, actually it turns into ugly. So that is the problem. So all these things, there must be a proper synchronization, and then only actually you will be able to have a very good market. So from the student perspective, I would suggest these are the inputs which you should take care of. At the same time, you need to take care of the recent reviews of the teachers. That will help you a great regard in selecting the faculty. And besides that, of course, the latest what we call syllabus must be taken into account when you select a particular faculty. For example, the syllabus has changed, and it has changed by leaps and bounds now, and there is a complete transformation as far as what we call CMA final course is concerned. So whenever you take the review, you need to take the review in the context of the changed syllabus. This is also very important. So on such count, actually, these are the points which I just wanted to share with you. Because of lack of time, I do not want to stretch it a little bit higher. So this is the sheet which I have written a little bit of intro regarding myself, and of course I have written here Raghu Academy, dedicated purely for the new dimension to CMA education. So once again, I sincerely hope that Raghu Academy, in the guidance of Mr. Raghu Goyal, is really going to be a catalyst, and it is going to completely what we call give a new dimension to the CMA, and it should reach the hallowed precinct of success. And on such note, actually, I take now leave of you, and with again a pray to the Almighty to keep you safe, sound, and of course make each one of you reach in the hallowed precinct of success. So good night from here in Delhi.